Can you put too many different kinds of fruit into one mead? Let's find out. By the way, if you don't know what mead is fermented honey made into an alcoholic beverage, and you can add other things to it. In this case, it's technically a melomel, which is a type of mead, and that just means a fruit mead, okay? Don't worry about too much of the technicals on that, but that's it. But everything that we're using here, all this equipment, the bucket, our hands, everything that touches this brew has been sanitized in
the red bucket of sanitation!
Which is literally a 10-gallon red bucket over on the side filled with star sand and water mixed to the manufacturer's suggestion. And that is just to prevent microbes, mostly wild yeast, from getting in and causing an infection in your brew, which can make it taste kind of funky, can add off flavors. Sometimes it works in your favor, but I would say 99 and 100% of the time, it's not going to be something you want. We're going to need some honey in order to make mead. This is Costco Kirkland Wildflower Honey. It happens to be just about 2.5 pounds. Whatever's in here is what I'm actually going to use today because I don't really know exactly how much is in it, but it's going to be close enough. I want about 2.5 pounds. So I have my scale and I have a bucket. Why are we using a bucket? Well, because we got like 5 pounds of fruit to add to this, and I'm making a gallon batch, so I don't want to overflow the bucket. But anyway, here we go. While the honey flows really, really slowly, let's talk about our yeast choice for today. I have Red Star Premier Blanc. You know why? We were out of Lalvin 71B, which is what I really wanted for this, but I ordered more, so it'll be here soon. Red Star Premier Blanc is actually an 18% tolerance yeast. It also has low nitrogen requirements, which means if you're like us and you like to use less nutrients or less additives in your brew, look for yeasts that like to work with that, like 71B and apparently Premier Blanc. I did not know, I'm saying Blanc, it should be Blanc, Premier Blanc, because it's French. But anyway, sorry, I just like to say that. That is a very helpful thing. 18% tolerance is great. We're not going to 18% on this. It's probably going to be somewhere around, maybe 11 to 12% or so when we're done, which is a perfectly drinkable range. And if you want more alcohol, have 2 glasses rather than trying to shoot for the moon and make a 20% mead. Because here's the thing, if you put too much honey and you try to make too much alcohol, it's going to take a lot longer for it to age before you really can like it. It's going to be a lot harsher. It's going to be a lot harder to balance the flavors. That's why
it's also going to be more difficult for your yeast to take care of it.
Absolutely. That's why if you notice, most commercial meads are usually like 10 to 13 or 14%. All right, so this is at 2 pounds, 4 ounces. So it's not quite half, but there's still some in here. I'm gonna just do the water check. And by that, I mean, we have over here 100 ounces of water. Why do I have 100 ounces of water? Because 1 pound of honey is roughly 11 fluid ounces. So 2.5 pounds of honey would be 27.5 fluid ounces. We're just gonna call it 28. So if I'm making a gallon batch, that means I need 100 ounces.
All right, so we are no longer gonna be able to have an exact measurement of the honey in here. So it's gonna be a guesstimate, so we don't need our scale any longer.
And I'm okay with this. You don't need it to be exact, you just need, get it in the ballpark. I'm gonna take a gravity reading so that we know what we have, but the exact amount of honey is not crucial. I'm gonna do this twice. By the way, if anybody's worried about oxidation, don't be.
Oxygen at this point is necessary for the yeast to create their colony. That is the first stage in a yeast's life when it comes to fermentation, is that you put the dry yeast in there, they get rehydrated, they multiply, they make new friends, they get the party going, and then once that occurs, and in that stage they're consuming the oxygen, they're going to get busy to transferring the fermentable sugars into alcohol, CO2, and a multitude of other things. At that stage, once they've made the conversion, oxygen is bad because oxygen plus alcohol plus acetobacters, which are omnipresent, meaning they're everywhere, could end up creating vinegar, and that's not what we're trying to do.
I'm splashing, oops.
I'm in the splash zone.
Me too, it splashed right in my glasses. Like, it got me in the eye under my glasses. That's impressive. And now we want to mix this up. And to do that, I'm gonna use a spattle. It's a spoon, it's a paddle, it's both. Get yours in the description below. By the way, you don't have to use a plastic bucket to ferment this in. This is a 1 gallon batch. You can do it in almost anything. But there is going to be another addition later on down the line. So we wanted to leave some room for that to go in, even though I think we're actually going to end up transferring it before we even put that addition in anyway.
Probably. For those of you who have been warned about headspace is an issue in fermentation, but not in primary. That's where we're starting our fermentation, because the fermentation process itself, when the yeast are actually doing that conversion, can get kind of messy.
Yeah, it creates foam, it expands, and if it's too close to that airlock, it'll start blowing out and get all over your kitchen. Yeah. And if it's in your kitchen, on the table and stuff, which we're not in our kitchen anymore, but if it'll get all over the table. And if it's on the table, you can't drink it. So, try to keep it in the bucket. It's my story, I'm sticking to it.
However, another caveat is that once fermentation is done, headspace is an issue, and you want to minimize it as much as possible.
You really can't overmix. If you want to mix more, you totally can. You want to make sure it's fully mixed. Otherwise, what we're about to do next, really, you're not going to get an accurate reading. So that's why I like to mix thoroughly and measure properly. But this time, I'm just going to wing it. I'm looking for something around like a 1.080-ish gravity, because I don't think we had a full 2.5 pounds. It's probably pretty close, though. If you don't understand what specific gravity is or means, we have videos on that, but I will just give a brief explanation. It is the density of a liquid relative to water. So like water is 1.000. As we add honey to it, it becomes more dense and raises that specific gravity. It also gives us an indication of how much potential alcohol we can make and how much sugars we have. And I was a little off, 1.092. That's interesting. It's not a problem. I like to target below 1.100 just because I don't like to add a lot of stuff to my mead. I like it to stay pretty simple. Now, something you can do with that 1.092 number. If I just put my fingernail there and turn it, that's about 12%. So yay, 12% if this goes totally dry. And now I'm gonna add some yeast. And I've seen people freak out about opening packets of yeast, like they sanitize the scissors, they sanitize the packet. I'm not one of those people. I've never had an infection as a result of cutting the pack with a pair of scissors. I don't know, your mileage may vary. I'm not that concerned with it. I do sanitize everything else though. Half a packet of Premier Blanc yeast, which is also a really strong yeast. It's up there with like EC1118 and things like that. It's meant for like if you get a stuck fermentation or for really hard to ferment things, which we're not adding any nutrients. So that makes it by definition a little harder to ferment. And then I fold the packet up, seal it really good, put some tape on it, stick it in the fridge. We keep all of our yeast in the fridge, by the way, all the time. Like as soon as it comes in, it goes right into the fridge. All right, go ahead and let's stick that lid on there. But there's something about plastic lids, and that is that they usually don't, sometimes don't, often don't, seal very well. You got to hear that snap, but we have a way of making sure it's sealed. We call it the Haas, the hammer of supreme sealing, or superior sealing. It's superior sealing. Yeah, the hammer of superior sealing.
It's new, can you tell?
Yeah, we just got it. So take out your frustrations, beat the crap out of a bucket, freak out your neighbors. But it actually works. We used it in another video and it really did seal. This is a dead something. Damn it, I have to look it up.
It's basically a mallet that is hollow inside and filled with weights. So that way, when you hit just something,
like stops.
It stops.
It doesn't bounce.
It doesn't bounce.
But it's got a name. Dead blow hammer. It just sounds funny to say. See, it doesn't bounce when it hits.
But it's loud.
It really is. I like it.
Are you done?
I think I'm done.
Here, have an airlock.
We don't have any S-types anymore?
No.
We used all the S-types? I don't like three-piece airlocks. Let me explain why. You can't really see anything happen. You can sort of see like little foam come up. But I like to see it go bloop, bloop. And these don't do that. They're just going to go boop. It's just not the same. Anyway, we'll use it. It's fine. I'll get over it. If you like three-piece airlocks, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be offensive. I just prefer S-types.
Each airlock has its own use and advantage and disadvantage.
These are easy to clean.
They are easy to clean.
S-types, you got to get in there with like bottle brush.
Good luck.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do now?
We're going to let it sit for probably a couple of weeks. And once it starts to slow down, we'll be back to show you the next step. But I do have notes here. A couple of people have asked what goes in our notes. It literally says pineapple, strawberry, peach, mango, mead. 8/27/25, because that's today's date. 2.5-ish pounds of honey, 1.092. Oop, I forgot the yeast. See, this is why it's good to look at your notes.
And the water.
And the water. All right, and now I have a dry spot. She just dried it out for me. I stick my note on there, and that's it. We literally take a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper and fold it so that it makes 4 columns shaped like this.
Then we cut it.
And we cut it. And we write on it, and we put masking tape on it.
Yeah.
No fancy labels necessary, no really expensive stuff. This bucket, you can get buckets from like a bakery if they get icing and stuff in them.
Yeah,
put
make
a
sure
grommet
they're
in
food
it.
safe, or you can just get them on Amazon. Link in the description below.
Yeah, everything that we use, we actually have links on Amazon too. We are Amazon affiliates, which means we do get a small commission if you use our links to purchase things at no additional cost to you. End of sponsored ad for the day. But we're going to let this sit for a couple weeks and we'll be back then. All right, so this was started about 2 weeks ago, and I just want to, do our first check on it. That lid's on there good. Right now, it's just a mead, okay? There's nothing else in it. It's just honey, water, and yeast. And that lid does not want to come off. The Haas does a great, look at it, it's deformed. The Haas does a great job. It looks like it's still fermenting. I see bubbles breaking the surface. But I want to see where it's at. This is where having like 15 tilts would be great.
He's kind of obsessed.
I have 2. I'm working on more. Christmas is coming. If anybody wants to buy me a tilt, I'm kidding. Unless you really want to. It's foamy. It's fizzy. It's got a lot of gas in there. Enough that it's going to be hard to read, but it's nowhere near done. Oh, it looks like 1.050, which started at 1.092, went through 42 points in a week. The perfect number, by the way. The answer to life, the universe, and everything, in case you didn't know. But not done. So I'm going to give this another week or 2, although we'll probably just come back next week and check it. Pour that sample in carefully. Lots of gas in there. And put the lid back on. Gotta get the Haas. Okay.
See you in a week.
Yeah. Okay, it's been about 2 weeks. Let's give this a check. Last time we looked at it, it was only at 1.050, which was a little higher than we thought it probably should be. Started at 1.092, but hey, you know, things have been taking a little bit longer in our environment lately, and I'm not upset by that. Just, it's a thing. It smells like mead.
Looks like a mead.
It's got alcohol. Wow. Did you get... It like kind of burned the inside of my nostrils when I got a good sniff of that. Still a little bubbly, so it might not be totally finished. Or maybe it is.
I think it's just gassy.
Carbonation can affect your SG reading, but I don't believe it affects it by that much. That is a test we have to do. Mm-hmm. It didn't run totally dry, but it's really close. Like, I'm going to call it 1.004. You took my pen again.
Oh, darn it.
She keeps taking my pen. You're getting your own damn pen out here. So right now, this is just a straight mead. And it's supposed to be a pineapple, strawberry, peach, mango mead.
Yeah.
So
I think it's close enough to done that we can go ahead and add the fruit.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The fruit has a chance that it could re-ferment anyway. So those last couple points, I'm not even worried about it. The fruit, yes. Let me address that right now. I think we talked about this earlier, but I'm going to say it right now. The fruit may ferment. It's okay. It's going to be on the other end of the fermentation where it's slower and more steady rather than very aggressive. So we're going to be able to maintain more of the aromas and more of the flavors of the fruit in the mead. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let me get it out of the freezer. I was a Mythbusters fan, and they had a saying, if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. So at Walmart, we found this tropical fruit blend, pineapple, mango, papaya, and coconut. Wait a minute, that is not the right one. Shit. Hold on a second.
Okay, so we just realized that we made a mistake, or did we? Because
we made a mistake.
we got 2 different fruit blends. Because look at the bags. I mean,
Yeah, they look the same, right?
the same.
They look the same, but they're not.
They're not.
One is pineapple, sliced strawberries, peaches, and mango. The other one is pineapple, mango, papaya, and coconut. So you know what?
They're all
forward.
going in.
So this is going to be pineapple, mango, papaya, coconut, strawberry, peach. Oh, mango's in there twice. I'm okay with that. Hey, it'll be interesting, right?
Fruit
No,
stuff.
but there's nothing wrong with it. But What I was talking about overdoing it is, generally speaking, you want to use like 2, 3, 4 pounds of fruit. We have a total of 6 pounds here. Now, I could just use the one bag and use the other one for something else, but coconut's not really my favorite thing.
And
but I don't mind
papaya. So
I don't mind it. But with all the other stuff, I think it'll be okay. And this is going to make this so fruity, so strong.
Because we were going for crazy over the top, so many fruits. Why not go more?
So, see, that's what happened. You were going for crazy over the top.
And the fermentation, gods just said, here, have more fruit, accidentally.
Do we have any way of cutting this bag out here?
Yeah, the scissors. Well, there were scissors. Where did they go?
Hey, we have scissors.
Yay! Dun, dun, dun.
And there was much rejoicing.
Now, the problem with this...
Ooh, smell that.
That smells really good.
That's the one with coconut.
Is that I'm in this flash?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's the problem.
It's good television. And yes, this is still frozen. I mean, it's cold. Trust me. Yeah. And does that really make a difference? No, it doesn't, because we don't care. Oh, there's not even any real juice left in there.
Yeah, because it was frozen.
It was all frozen.
That's the benefit.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm not even worried about it if it stalls fermentation or anything, because...
It's funny, the little bit of ice crystals that have fallen off the fruit are actually making mucilation sites, so it's kind of fizzying right now.
Okay, this one shouldn't have a good chunk. Oh, this one has peaches in it, too. I'm really glad we used a 2-gallon bucket for this.
Yeah.
Because, oh boy, whoa. That's full. All right, It smells incredible though. What I would like to do is stir it up. So as you can see, there is a lot of fruit in that bucket. It basically doubled in volume.
I'm not really going to stir so much as just kind of
just get them.
prod.
Dunk them. We're dunking it under. That's pretty much what we're doing here.
I'm actually very excited and happy that we got 2 different blends.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, should we save that for... No. Lots of fruit is lots of fruit. Oh, I should write down what it was, though. So it's pineapple, strawberry, peach, mango, papaya, coconut, mead. What we're going to do with this is we're going to have to stir this one up, whether it's just a little manual swirl or actually take the lid off and give it a little...
You're satisfied with that, don't you?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, some of it'll float, some of it'll sink. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. We're going to put the lid back on and the airlock. That's important, just in case it does actually ferment some more. It could add a couple more points to the ABV, and, you know, I don't care. It just doesn't matter to me.
You need the Haas.
Yeah.
Oh, should I take the airlock off?
No,
your Haas?
fine. To seal it up, though, we need the Haas. Do I really think this bucket's sealed? No. Although, actually...
Do we care?
There's positive pressure.
See, you messed with it. You messed with
Nope,
it.
and there it goes. It just broke.
Because you messed with it.
Whatever. Let's actually talk about ABV for a second. We started at 1.092. We ended at 1.004 at the moment. So minus 1.004 gives us 88 points used up times 131.25 is 11.55%. So here's the thing. Adding all that fruit, there's some water in the fruit too. It's going to dilute it slightly, but the fruit is going to add a little bit of alcohol. So I'm probably going to say it's like a net neutral. So this is probably going to be about 11%. I'm just going to write 11%. They have to put within plus or minus 2%. So if I say 11, it could be 9, it could be 13, and I'd still be legal, let alone for a home brewer. You know, so it's all good. So
what are we going to do now, Bri?
We're going to put the label back on, stop talking, and put this back in the ferment station and see them in about 3 weeks. Okay, so it's been 3 weeks on the fruit. Time to take a look.
There's a lot of fruit.
There's a lot of fruit. So taking a look inside, it looks like fruit. I don't see any eyeballs. I don't see any hair or teeth.
Which we didn't expect to see. More importantly, we didn't see anything fuzzy indicating that there was mold growth. Now, it is very normal for the color of the fruit to desaturate. In other words, lose their color, because that's just part of the fermentation process, particularly with strawberries.
We got some pulp in the liquid, so when we rack this, we're probably going to have to use the rumble jar.
Yeah.
Wow, it's like viscous. I have a feeling this is going to be really good. Now, we are checking this just to see if anything changed. It was at 1.004 when we added the fruit. Fruit probably added a little bit of sugars to it. I don't know that it's going to ferment much more. I've been known to be wrong about that though. It wasn't floating. So this fermented out a little bit more of the sugars that were in there, as well as the fruit itself. Because it is now sitting at, oh wow, 0.990.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of fruit that we put in there might have added a point or two of ABV at most. It's not going to be that much.
It's gone now.
Yeah. But to calculate the ABV, it changed a bit because this started now. Let's just do this using the calculator teacher said I would never have handy. It was right there. Anyway, so 1.092 is our beginning gravity minus 0.990 is our ending gravity times 131.25 gives us 13.38%. Now, I know this diluted slightly from the liquids in the fruit, and we also know that it probably fermented some of the sugars in the fruit. So I'm going to call it a wash and just say this is like
13-ish.
13. Yeah, it might even be a little bit less. We'll just call it 13. Does it matter?
No.
No. Apparently, winemakers can be within 1.5 either way. I thought it was 2. It's 1.5. Okay, we got to rack this though. We're going to rumble jar it too. As we always like to do, we're using an auto siphon. And I'm going to be using the rumble jar. Like I said, this is just a very fine mesh stainless steel screen. It's actually made for cold brew, for making cold brew coffee. And I'm going to put this in because this way, a lot of the bigger particles, the pulp and stuff, will not get through. And that way I can just rack with impunity. So I realized partway through the racking process that we probably have more than a gallon. So we got another glass jug ready to go for when we get to that point. We're gonna do the old crimp and stick. You'll see what that is in a minute. Okay, I'm not sure exactly how much is left in here. So what I'm gonna do is bend the tube, crimping it. Derek is gonna bring that really, really close and then take that end and stick it into the end there. Stick it in the crimp and stick. Seriously, that was the end of it. Hey, you know, better safe than sorry. And you just learned something, how to do the crimp and stick. But yeah.
All right, let me get the liquid up.
So yeah, there was that much left apparently. But I am gonna pour this right back in because.
Very, very carefully.
And there's still enough room for us to do some other stuff to it. Okay, it's been racked. We have about 4,400 milliliters, which is, I don't know, like 130 ounces or so, 140 ounces. But we don't know if we're going to like this or not. So that means we need to start tasting. This is the fun part of brewing. It smells a little young.
Yep.
I mean, we know it's at 0.990, so it's very, very dry as well. Just far below what we normally like things at. You gonna taste it?
You know I'm obsessed with aroma.
Yeah, it definitely has a lot of dryness there.
Yes. But if you're used to brewing,
there's some underlying flavor.
they're in there.
Wow.
We just got to find
I
them.
got a little bit of peach, pineapple,
just gotta let 'em
strawberry.
out.
Yeah. Okay, so the easiest way to bring out more flavor and to make something not dry is to sweeten it. To
This
do
is
that,
a mead.
honey.
We're using honey.
I'm going to need something to stir this with. That would be the spattle. It's a spoon.
Spoon. It's a paddle. It's both. Get yours in the description below.
Yeah. We probably want this to be significantly sweet, right? We like sweet.
I never get to do that line, so
Yeah, have at it. It's all good.
we might have to take bigger samples.
Yeah, because we're going to run out of space. Now, another thing is the actual back sweetening process may even make this diluted a little bit more. So
Yeah.
we're probably going to say this is like 12%, which is fine. Which means anything from 10.5 to
Sure.
13.5 is
As long as
good.
it's over 10%, I'm cool.
Yeah. And the reason for that is past 10%, it's harder to turn into vinegar. At 15 and above, pretty much impossible to. So that's why we liked it. That's why if you ever see a recipe to make like apple cider vinegar or something, it says to dilute down to 5 to 7% in most cases. And that's because it's easier for the acetobacters at that point. This should taste significantly sweeter. Now, this has not cleared at all. Which, okay, did it not clear or did it get clouded up in the racking process?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it needs more sweetness. I think it's also going to need some wine tannin.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. It's got some acidity, but needs some staying power.
Now, because of the fruit that we bought were frozen. They were peeled. They didn't have any skins or seeds or any of that. So there was limited tannins added from the fruit adjustments.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The strawberries had a very little bit. Everything else was pretty much peeled.
Yep.
That's just part of the balancing process. We want this to have the right sweetness level to bring the level of fruit up to appropriateness. The acidity is already quite strong, which is making us need to sweeten it even more. And then tannins can actually round that out to make it more rounded. I don't know. It's like...
We actually did a whole podcast on building a structure for your brew without sweetness, just using tannins and acids. Now, this particular brew needs the sweetness as well, but I will link that podcast in the description below. Now, because we are adding honey as our back sweetening agent, it is going to change the aroma, and that's why we keep smelling it. It's not just my obsession with aromas, because I am getting some of the honey note now on the aroma.
Yeah, there was almost no honey character left when it was dry. It was barely anything.
That is a significant improvement.
Yeah. I don't think it needs any more sweetening. I don't know. Maybe a little, actually.
I think maybe just a little bit more. And I still think a little bit of tannin, but it doesn't feel as
definitely need some tannin. And that's the other thing, too. Adding honey can change the viscosity, changing the mouthfeel.
Yep.
Lessening the need for more added tannin. In this case, I think it wouldn't hurt to have some. And you might be going, that's a lot of honey. Yeah, it is. And sometimes that's what's needed. There are many, many meads in the world that have tons of residual sweetness in them. Polish meads, for example, are usually very, very sweet.
Now, when it comes to a fruited beverage, lots of times the sweetness doesn't hide the fruit, but it actually accentuates the fruit flavor.
Yes. It's kind of like adding sugar or salt to food. You heighten the flavors by adding sugar and salt to food. For as young as it is, which is to say it's only like 6 weeks. Yeah, it's about 6 weeks old for as young as it is. This is actually quite nice. I felt the youngness in it when it was very dry. And that's the thing. Sweetening hides a lot of faults. It really does. Now, over time, that will age out. That's why I don't want to over sweeten, because then it'll just be sickly sweet in a year. But I like to make it palatable right now, because sometimes fruit type wines and meads are way better younger than once they've aged a while.
Yeah.
The fruit just kind of gets, I don't want to say stale, because that's not really the term.
The fresh fruit
It's not fresh anymore.
Kind of dissipates.
Not always. And it's hard to know when that's going to happen and when it doesn't. So that's why I'm trying to kind of cover my bases and not go too far in any one direction.
I don't feel it's oversweet. I think it's really bringing out particularly the strawberry and the peach notes now. Or before, all I was getting was pineapple coconut. Now I'm getting some of the
I finally got a little coconut that time.
So we have a problem. We have a significant amount over 1 gallon. So my question to Brian was, what are we going to rack this to for the finishing? Because we did add a fermentable sugar for our back sweetening, which means we're going to stabilize this, and our preferred method is pasteurization. So then we were trying to think of what vessels we had available that we could rack this to pasteurize. And recently we've done one in a keg, and because our kegs are metal, the heat transfer is perfection. So
it happens so much faster. And we can do the 160 degrees for 1 minute type.
Yeah.
So it's super fast, half an hour to done.
So then Brian continued that thought process. He said, well, if we're in a keg already, do you want this to be sparkling? And I don't know about you guys, but for some reason,
fizzy tropical fruit mead? I mean,
that sounds good. And so then there was another question, and this is just how this works sometimes. Will we still need the tannins if we're going to carbonate? Because the carbonation creates
carbonic acid.
So it gives you a different flavor profile that's not going to be here otherwise.
I'm making sure that we don't have too much.
Oh, is that what you're doing? Look at him. Taking one for the team. So we decided we're not going to add more tannins.
Nope.
We're just going to go ahead and rack this to our keg, pasteurize it in our full vessel pasteurization method, and then carbonate it and cold crash it at the same time in our mini fridge. And we'll be back for a final tasting.
It's been pressurized and carbonated. And I probably need to release some of that pressure because it's at 15 PSI right now. That's a little strong for pouring. It's always good to look at your knob. Drop that down to 10. Oh, this puppy's dead.
Uh-oh.
Need a new tank. That's all right. Give me a sec. Take this guy off. And it had like half a hiss left in it. That's
Half
it.
a hiss.
Yeah. Gotta have a full hiss or nothing. We have found that using this particular setup, we go through 2 of these canisters for every brew. But that's for a full gallon. So one to pressurize and the other one to serve. And sometimes there's a little left on the serving, but not usually. Not much. Okay, so let's
Greases that way.
Yep, increase it just a little tiny bit. First pour is always ugly, but here we go. Got to turn the City Steading Brews logo forward. By the way, you can get these glasses in the link in the description below. And you got to just go for it with these. Like that. And we need more pressure.
Yep.
What's it up to?
It's slowly making its way to 10.
That'll be
It's like, and now it's out.
Yeah, it'll come back.
Oh, that's actually pretty.
Yeah, look at that. That is beautiful. Usually the first one is not good. All right, glass number 2. Stay.
What?
Look at that.
Accidental perfect pour.
And I'm going to put it right underneath the drip.
So because it's cold,
It's actually not super clear.
it's not clear. But
It's like pineapple juice.
if you told me all the fruits that were in here, I wouldn't anticipate it to be clear. So that doesn't bother me at all. I actually like the color. The color is reflective of all of the fruits that are in here. It's one of those nondescript, yellowy, orange, pale.
Now, we added
things.
honey to this last week and didn't take a reading on it, so we don't really know what the final gravity is. I'm sorry.
The aroma
Very complex.
is very complex,
Tons of fruit.
which it should be, because everything is in here. Everything.
Now, being cold makes it harder to get a good aroma off of it,
Yeah.
but it smells really nice. It's got a good honey character to it. I smell the coconut. I'm smelling, I think, papaya and peach mostly.
I'm getting some pineapple.
Yep, pineapple, definitely.
All right.
All right.
I'm intrigued.
I just hit my nose into it. That's how deep you gotta go in there to get a smell. I hit it with my nose. Are you ready?
Very much knows.
Oh my God, that is so good. Wow. Wow.
That's a party in a glass.
It really is.
It's like tropical fruit punch.
Yes, that's exactly what this is.
Because it's with the carbonation, it's totally tropical fruit punch.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is
Do we have an ABV?
13%. This is panty dropper juice. That's what that is. Sorry, we just upped our rating to PG-13.
Yeah, this is like a. I hate to use the word because it's degrading this, but it's like a wine cooler.
Oh, this is more than a wine cooler. Most wine coolers are actually like low ABV. This is high ABV. Like this is almost like champagne level of alcohol.
I'm not talking about the
I
alcohol.
know. I'm just explaining for them because they don't know what you meant. Maybe some of it.
It's light, it's refreshing, it's fruity, it's fun.
And it's got a 13% alcohol.
It just has a super secret agenda.
I'm going to call this a huge success. We did not intend to use the 2 different kinds of fruits in it.
No,
But I'm glad we did.
the extra bag that had the other
Yeah, it was
fruits
for smoothies.
was for me for smoothie.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Hey, shouldn't be in the fermenting freezer.
We don't have another place to store.
I know it's our
fruit.
we just have a stand-up freezer. I'm very impressed.
I am really impressed too, and I'm actually intrigued by how much fruit we put in here and how it came through. Because there's been so many times that we have tasted commercially made brews lately, particularly from Superstition, we're just like, dang, this is fruitalicious. How did they get that? Well, I think they just put a shit ton of fruit in there.
Yeah.
You already did the other PG-13, so
I said panty.
I said shit.
Yeah. All of those flavors actually combine really nicely.
And I'm glad that we did this as a mead rather than as a wine.
I think the honey.
I feel like the honey
complements
is
it.
working really well. Just think of a big giant bowl of fruit that you drizzle honey over.
And then you make it alcoholic and carbonate it. Yeah. That. The pineapple is really working hard here. It's giving that really exotic tropical thing, but then the mango is like the backbone, almost a, I don't want to say it's not quite sour or bitter. It's got that turpentine note that mango does.
Mango thing.
That is balancing with the sweetness of the honey and the other fruits. It's really amazing.
I'm getting the papaya. If this was papaya alone, I would be like, dump.
Yeah.
No thanks. But
oh yeah, there it is on the afterbreath.
The earthy note of the papaya actually blends really lovely with all those other fruits.
Yeah. Okay, when you make a crazy thing like this, and at the moment that you dump it in and you realize what you did,
no, what
you kind of go, oh crap, this is not great.
And then it turns out like this, and you're like, oh, thank you. Yeah.
So what did we learn from this? Experiment, try things. If they're flavors that you like on their own, more than likely there'll be flavors that you like put together. So cost-wise, this is something I'm starting to do. A couple of people have asked how much. We used probably the Kirkland honey for this, which I know is about $3 to $4 a pound. Yeah, it's like $3 a pound.
If you get it from Costco.
It's really inexpensive. So let's call it $3 a pound. We use 2.5 pounds. So that's $7.50. Then I want to say the bags of fruit were, let's even say they were $5 each. So that's $10 plus that. So we're at $17.50.
Then we did half a packet of Premier Blanc.
Yeah, call the yeast $1. So we're at $18.50. And then we did back sweeten with an undetermined amount of honey. Call it another half a pound. So let's even say $3 more. So we're at $21.50
in
ingredients to make a full gallon of this mead, which actually we had more than a gallon because you and Dad drank it last week.
We did.
It was like an extra half a bottle.
It was good even then.
But I'm going to call it a gallon. So 5 bottles, right? 5 full 750 ml bottles for $21.50 divided by 5. That is $4.30 a bottle for an amazingly fruity, very, very flavorful mead.
Right.
That is not going to make it to be 2 months old. What I didn't count is the carbonation cost. They're like $1 or $2 each.
The cartridges, yeah.
Yeah, the cartridges. They're $1 or $2 each.
Now remember, all the tools that we use, more than likely are going to last you your lifetime of brewing. So.
Or years at least. But now comes the time when we put a number on this. On the screen, you should be seeing our scoring guide. It goes 1 through 11. That's right, because ours goes to 11. What you don't see is the super secret 0 for those few things that just absolutely suck. Go on a limb and say, spoilers, this is not a 0.
It is not a 0.
It's probably not below a 5. How's that?
I only have one number that's available to me.
Oh, really? I know where she's going. All right, I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3, 10.
11.
Couldn't go 11. This is really good, but I feel like, I don't know.
I'm just going through my mental checklist of things that make Derek happy.
Yeah.
Check. There's nothing bad about this. It is flavor forward, which is number 1 on the Derek priority list.
I'm getting an odd note in the middle that isn't pleasing to me. I took it from an 11 to a 10.
Okay, so he just didn't attribute that one particular note to a fruit. All the notes that I've received...
Not sure what it is.
I can attribute
You know what it might be? It might be the papaya.
The papaya.
Because I was not a fan of fresh papaya.
But I feel like the earthiness of the papaya is working in this melody.
I want to agree with you, but working in this medley.
Thank you. That.
Melody is music. But I guess it works that way too. That would be harmony, though.
Fine.
Hey, blame the classically trained
Brian,
musician.
yeah. So, you know.
Anyway.
If you don't like papaya, but you want to grow papaya because papaya is really easy to grow, consume it in the green form as a salad. It's delightful.
Yeah, actually, I do like it that way. Anyway, make this one. It's so good. And I mean, this was 7 weeks start to finish. In 10 weeks, it'll be gone.
Yeah. I'm going to be gone tonight. Who knows? Dad might like it.
Yeah. Oh, your dad's going to like this.
Yep.
It's all fruit all the time. He's going to love this. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.
Bye-bye.